Hi guys, and welcome to All About Innovation. Today I want to introduce you to two books which I really like and which I think every innovator should read. And they should read it as an inspiring read to understand the journey of successful businessmen, of successful innovators who started small, so to say, and grew in their roles. And the first book is Showdog from Phil Knight. And why I really like this book, it explains how hard it is to go from nothing to a big company. And Phil Knight, in the beginning, after he finished school, he started selling shoes out of the trunk of his car at sports event. He didn't sold Nike at this point, he sold Tiger shoes. So he was a shoe distributor and he was striving for a bigger market and a bigger company, so to say. Because he was convinced about the shoes, he was a runner by himself and he thought that other runners also might like the shoes. And this is how Nike started. And he didn't start it as a full-time business. He was working for a long time in a regular job, and after this job, he cared about his side company, sold shoes from his apartment, sold shoes from his store, sold shoes from his warehouse, and he grew employees from time to time. He just hired new people because he couldn't cope with this anymore, and he was always struggling with liquidity and orders. Sometimes he had too much orders and a shoe delivery from Japan took too long, and he was always at the brink of a collapse. And he struggled like, I think, 10 years. He did it as a side job and he hustled like every day. And one day, this company, which was delivering shoes to him, called Tiger from Japan, they stopped selling him shoes and he needed to produce his own shoes. So he sent out his colleagues to find shoe factories and produce shoes. And only then the brand Nike was born. And this is really inspiring to me because it shows the struggle and it shows how hard it is to grow a business from nothing to a big company. And also with Nike, it was not always easy. There have been a lot of competition out there and they always try to make good shoes and they looked at the customer, and this is how this big brand came together. But I think for you, it's enough from my side. Just go ahead, get this book, 2-3 days, you'll be reading through this. It's really easy to read. It's really well written, and I can only recommend this book to everyone out there who cares about innovation, because this is a very nice example how to be an innovator and how to create something from the ground up. The second book is The Hard Thing About Hard Things. And this book is from Ben Horowitz. And in this book, it's, so to say, divided in two parts. He describes his struggle and how he grew in his company. And I think the main takeaway from this book is, to wrap it up in one sentence, act like a CEO. Whenever there's no one who makes the decision, it's you. You have to make the decision. You have to act like a CEO because you are responsible in this moment when there's no one around you, and you have to always act in the best interest in the company you work for or your own company. But in the end, you maybe need to make a decision on your own. You're alone. And this book is divided in two parts. I think the first roughly 1/3 of this book is his story. And then in the latter 2/3, there's like a cookbook actually. There are situations described and then how he actually solved these problems or situations, explaining in detail what he did. And if you face management problems, you can use this actually not only as a book that you can put on your shelf because it's really nice, but you can also use it as a dictionary, so to say, for managers, for leaderships, how you can act in certain situations if you're alone, if you struggle. And I think this book sums up all these business problems. And I think he had a lot of problems when he grew his company, but it's super inspiring, and I think that's also a super good read for every innovator out there. I link the 2 books below so you can just buy them from Amazon or at least look at them. I think they are books that you can read multiple times and they'll be still giving you a great value for the price of the book. So thank you for looking in the YouTube channel today. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.